And it was the best time because I was free. I didn't have to go home and I didn't have to worry. And the day I was leading up to me going home, I was like the worst day of my life because I knew I was going back into the torment that I had. Now, the one thing about me, I was sexually abused from the age of 10. And my favourite book is The Colour Purple, and it starts off saying, "Dear God, I'm 14 years old," and I would always remember that because I was 10. Now, the one thing about sexual abuse, it is absolutely horrible. And now that I've grown up, and I hear people, they always say, "Oh, I knew something was wrong." But they didn't say nothing. That's right. They knew, and they didn't say nothing. Now, my mother, God rest her soul because she's no longer here, was even the worst tormentor because she knew it was happening, and she did nothing. She did nothing. Now, the one thing is I'll have to say to anybody, when you see a child, look at their eyes. People used to say to me, "Oh, you've got the most beautiful eyes," and it could tell a story. That was what they would say. They knew there was a story, but nobody said to me, "What's the matter? What's your story?" And now that I've grown up, there's so many people around who knew me. And they see this person who's loud and I'm never nervous and, you know, life is soul of every party, regardless whether it's in a house or a park or anywhere. But you learn how to hide it because you've got a face that the world sees. But when you shut that door, it's another face, right, when you're standing there. Now, the one thing I'm not going to go into details because my details are harrowing. But the one thing that I have to say to everybody in here, when you see a child and that child's outside playing and it comes time and the mother calls or the father calls or somebody, look at them and how they walk or how the fear of having to go into that house and know that there's something wrong. And you have to say, and even if you can't go to the parent or anything and say, "There's something wrong with your child," phone the police. Phone people like Gozzy, phone people at welfare, and you say, "I think there's a problem." Even if there isn't a problem, you can go to bed at night and know that you have done right. Because if it isn't that child, it's somebody else's child. And it could be the child of the one that is playing, the person. Because children sometimes talk and they know. And they say, "Don't say nothing but." So you could be that voice of that child that is there, okay? And the one thing that I have to say that is there for everyone else as well. When the child comes and says so-and-so, don't look at the person and say, "Oh, they wouldn't do that. They will all do it." Now, I will say that there was my mother that was there. She was so high in our community. You see her, long hair, light skin, nice figure. She was like the first person that started our community carnival. She was the one who did it. She was the first person that helped started up our CRE in Reading. Everything, and Edge was admired outside. But inside our house, she was a monster. The public face that she showed was this glamorous woman. Wouldn't go down in Primark. Her clothes came from John Lewis or any other private little store. Had to look the part, but inside she was a monster because she knew it was happening. And rather than tell my stepfather where to go, she beat me. She beat me all the time and really badly beat me. Rather than tell him exactly where to go, no. She would let that go, and outside they would hug each other and everything for the outside world. And inside the house was something different. And she was beating me rather than beating him, because he was doing something that she knows he shouldn't be doing. And she would lay down, sleep, everything else with him. But she would beat me rather than beat him. And it has a lasting effect on you for the rest of your life. In my house, I don't have closed doors. No door in my house is closed, apart from the toilet. And if it's just me and my daughter in there, I don't even close the door. Because the worst things that happen sometimes behind a closed door. And I absolutely hate to see doors closed. Always. Now, I'm a single parent. And the reason I brought my daughter up by myself, and the reason I've done that, is because what happened to me is never going to happen to my child. At all. So I put personal relationships Nah. Let me get into a relationship where my daughter was old enough to lick them down, do whatever she needed to do. That's when I did. So you sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice your life where you don't need to do that. Now, I know I'm not the only one. I know that. In lots of rooms, I know I'm not the only one. We're everywhere. Your neighbour, right, even your own family. And that is the worst, is when it's somebody in your own family that is there all the time. And there's people like Gozzy that would say to me, she was the first person that just, I could tell that she could believe. I knew that it was something. And then I heard people say, I know there was something wrong.
Can I just say something? It is about believing. If somebody tells you something, if somebody discloses something, most of the time we don't want to hear it because it just interferes with the world that we like to live in. But we growing up knew something was wrong, we were too young to understand. And I remember at 14 when you left the house eventually, because this went on from she was 10 till she was 14. Yeah? When she left the house, we were too young and it took a little while for people. And back in the day, we didn't speak of such things, so she was just whisked away. And now you get the results.
Right.
Yeah? So family, the conversation that we're having today, and I'm going to thank you at this point, yeah? The conversation that we're having today, and although you see me smile and we dance and all that kind of stuff, this is very serious thing, very serious thing.